South Africa stands at the brink of a political revolution. With the 2024 election fast approaching, could this be the beginning of the end for the African National Congress? The rise of the EFF and the MK Party may be the final nail in the coffin for the ANC.
Our track record has demonstrated that the little we have as the EFF, we share it with those who do not have. No political party in South Africa, not a single one, has built more houses from its coffers for the poor than the EFF. Not even the ANC. We're not talking government, a political party. No single political party has sent so many kids to school, than the EFF. So when you give to the EFF, you must know you are giving to a party that shares with the poor of the poorest. So we call upon all South Africans to donate as many millions as possible to the EFF. As many millions as possible to the EFF, and see what we'll do with that money.
Radical economic transformation means you change the economy from the manner in which they're operating, deal with it in such a way that they're able to address the needs of the country for all South Africans. At the moment, they are not. You need to be radical to bring that change. Exactly.
Greetings, my fellow African brothers and sisters. Welcome to Inkari. It's time. I'm Kondus, your host. And in today's video, we are examining the potential downfall of the African National Congress in the 2024 elections. With the emergence of the economic freedom fighters and the MK Party, could we be witnessing a seismic shift in South African politics? Let's dive right in. The ANC has been the cornerstone of South African politics since the end of apartheid, leading the country with a promise of equality and prosperity. However, recent years have seen the party embroiled in corruption scandals, internal divisions, and economic mismanagement, leading to growing discontent among the marginalized masses. Scandals such as the state capture involving the Gupta family and persistent issues like load shedding and unemployment have eroded public trust in the ANC. Many South Africans are now looking for alternatives elsewhere. To understand the changing political climate, we hit the streets to hear from every South African about their thoughts on the ANC, the EFF, and the MK Party.
Now, South Africa's ruling ANC party, which has been in power since the end of apartheid, has acknowledged that it may lose its majority if it can't fix the country's energy crisis. The Secretary General told the BBC prolonged rolling power cuts are the party's Achilles heel. And the leader of a radical opposition party, the Economic Freedom Fighters, says a collapse of the national grid this winter could spark a revolution. Stephen Saka reports from Cape Town.
Night falls in Khayelitsha Township, Cape Town. The power is out, the street lamps are off, and law enforcement is braced for trouble. Cape Town is the murder capital of Africa. Rolling power cuts have heightened residents' fears of the local criminal gangs.
What are you doing with this stuff?
This bust was routine, drugs, weapons, but no violence.
Immediately one can identify the criminal markings that's been etched all over on the inside of the premises. There you see the number 28, one of the notorious prison gangs.
Khayelitsha is home to more than 1 million people. More than half live below the poverty line. Young people can't get jobs. The state is struggling to provide basic services. And now the power is off for up to 12 hours a day. Wiseman Bambata's upholstery business relies on a battered electric sewing machine. Power cuts are destroying his livelihood, and he's angry.
I would like to see a different government because I'm losing hope from our government.
President Cyril Ramaphosa and the ruling ANC are in trouble, and they know it, accused of incompetence and overseeing a failing state.
We are focused in terms of dealing with it. It is an Achilles heel, and I can't tell you tonight or any time that this is an easy matter for our government. Surely, after COVID-19, this is the biggest challenge that has actually faced us internally.
2 years ago, street violence and looting hit several South African cities. This wasn't supposed to happen in the Rainbow Nation envisaged by Mandela. Now the power cuts are deepening the disillusion. Elections are coming next year, and one populist politician senses opportunity in the current crisis.
Let the grid collapse as it is going to happen, and see what's going to happen in this country. I'm not wishing it. I'm saying it's going to happen, and you will see what's going to happen. Do you think that once the grid collapses, people are going to exchange roses with government? People are going to rise.
Back in Khayelitsha, Wiseman, wife Ruby, and their 2 young daughters huddle in the candlelight. Do you feel safe when there is no power?
No, we don't. We don't. Actually, what I do, I make sure that all the kids are inside the house, firstly, and then we lock the door. We lock the gate.
29 years in power, and the ANC can't keep the lights on. Sooner or later, South Africa's rulers face a painful reckoning.
But as members of the party, we're very disappointed.
What do you think happens next?
Like I said, we'll take direction from our leadership.
Do you think the MK still has good chances without Zuma on the ballot?
Definitely, because the agenda to liberate our people.
Yes, sorry, all right.
Yes, as long as he's on the ballot, I think it's good. But like I said, we'll take direction from our leadership. Thank you.
Kan nie met jou hart gaan stem nie. Jy moet met jou kop gaan.
I started this video in Afrikaans, but I decided to go to English because I wanted to say this so everybody could understand, not only the Afrikaans community, but the amount of hatred comments, the hateful comments, the bullying, the stitching, it is terrible. And I want to actually talk about where this comes from. And in the apartheid years, the apartheid government used to publish anybody who went against the national or apartheid government in those years. And that was so that people could see that they are traitors. And that's why the word traitors always go around when somebody doesn't vote or agree with anybody that is in the Afrikaner community. Now, when they did that, it meant that those people were discriminated, they were bullied, and some of them were physically attacked, etc. It opened a floodgate of hate towards anybody who didn't agree. Now, in a democratic country, you are allowed to disagree with your government without any consequences. So now those Afrikaner mentality with those apartheid years have now flooded into social media, and they're doing exactly the same to anybody that does not fit into the social norm of the voting, the white person voting, which is like the DA, any other like normal party which the Afrikaner community will vote for. Now, instead of having a really good conversation with these people that don't agree with you, you say, you know what, why are you voting for the EFF, or why are you voting for a party that I'm not used to voting for? And we can actually have a safe, constructive conversation, because sometimes we don't think out of our social circles, and we don't talk out of our social circles. And having that safe conversation can actually help you understand why people are voting the way they are, because maybe we didn't think of something. And also, what is important to you might not be important to me. So people vote for what is important to them, and it's their democratic right. So all I'm asking is for the Afrikaner community, stop online bullying and harassment to any white person that does not agree with you politically. It is hateful, it is divided.
My personal views on these 3 political parties are the following. The ANC used to represent hope and freedom, but now it feels like they are only in it for themselves. It's time for a change. The EFF's policies on land reform and economic equality resonate with many black South Africans. They seem to genuinely care about the people. The MK Party brings a sense of regret and commitment to the original values of the struggle. I'm just curious to see what they can achieve. Polls indicate a significant drop in support for the ANC, with both the EFF and the MK Party gaining ground. Let's take a closer look at what these parties stand for and how they plan to address South Africa's pressing issues. The EFF, led by Julius Malema, has capitalized on the frustration of many South Africans, particularly the youth, with their radical policies and bold rhetoric. The MK Party, while newer on the scene, taps into the legacy of the ANC military wing, appealing to those who feel the ANC has strayed from its original mission. With growing dissatisfaction with the ANC and the rising popularity of the EFF and MK Party, the 2024 election could indeed mark a turning point in South African politics. The ANC faces its toughest challenge yet, and the question remains, can they reclaim their former glory, or is this the beginning of the end?
Still in the ANC for 14 years. They never see the importance of penny. They were taking me for granted, stopping me to work for community, blocking everything that I'm doing for community. For the road that you came off, the Thai road. Until President Zuma, he gave the community. Limpopo, there was no money in that time. They were disbanded the national structures for Limpopo. President Zuma, he came and he gave us the road. That's why it's the part that I think I can join it.
The region believes the artist benefited from being a member more than he contributed to the party.
As Mr. Kobane just leaves the ANC with his colorful suits, sharp noses, and obnoxious hairstyle and his regurgitated songs that are not really appealing really to this generation. And if you are to talk about the quality of the membership of the African National Congress, the ANC has not, we have not lost anything. But if you are to talk about the quantity of the membership of the ANC, indeed we have lost 1 mere member.
On the streets of Nkuri, some residents say they too will vote for the MK Party next Wednesday.
I have left the ANC because there's no service delivery and have decided to follow Penny at MK because even now we have been getting vegetables because of him. I'm happy that he joined MK. I will vote for MK too. Maybe we can even get water and jobs.
MK cause mati havana problem ya mati ina shoto hambana latikweni ANC hi yona ayi pfalela handle hi nga kumisi swo tala na mtirho ayi kayivela.
Die EFF met ek sou sê die mense moet EFF word want hulle is op die oomblik besig om ons te help met ons plot wat ons land wat ons gehad het, wat ons besig is om te verloor. Die mense wil ons uitgooi daarso en op die oomblik help die EFF ons om dit te kan behou want die mense, wit mense wat wit is soos ons, wil ons uitgooi en die swart mense, hulle is besig om ons te help. So daai wat hulle sê die EFF is nie goed nie en so aan, dit is nie die waarheid nie, want die EFF, hulle is op die oomblik besig om ons te help en die wit mense wil nie ons wit mense help nie. So ons moet beginne saam staan met die EFF en beginne saam fight saam met die EFF, want as dit nie vir hulle was nie, was ons nie vandag, het ons nie nog daar gebly by ons plek.
As South Africa heads to the polls, the political landscape is more uncertain than ever. Stay tuned to our channel for more updates and in-depth analysis as we approach this critical moment in the nation's history. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to stay informed. Thank you for watching. See you next time and take care.